Welcome, and here we're looking at the S&P 500 on the 4-hour chart. And look, it's tricky calling in lows, but I think we're pretty close to it at the moment, and this low here could possibly be it. Now, if that is the case, then we're looking for a 50-60% retracement level, which would bring us up around this area through here, a retest of this 1800 here, but also this here area here is the block of supply as well, the resistance. So we can see that within, starting in group 2 here at 1772, which is also quite a strong number, as you know. The other point is that because we have 5 waves down through here, we're looking at an A, B, C here, and then another 5 waves down here as well. The other 5 waves down here, they may not come down that far. Not normally the A wave and the C wave have got some sort of relationship in them, either equality, or the C wave can be 61.8% of the length of the A wave. So let's see how we go with that. So we might just come down for a bit of a flat, so an ABC up to, well, even up to here, and then down into here, and then up not so much the whole length of this here for the whole C wave. Okay, that said, let's just drill in here and see what we've got here. I mean, one of the things here that that sort of concerns me is, this can still possibly be a fourth wave here, because we've got wave 4 here from that move up through there as a triangle, as an A and a B and a C and a D and an E, an Elliott triangle. But if this was just an A and a B and a C here, and that wave 4 was on there, then we would have down for 1, back for 2, down for 3, an A and a B and a C here, 4, and then down for 5 here. So that's possible as well. So we just need to bear that in mind. A little bit clearer here, actually. Sorry about that. So, we've got this wave 4 here, but if it is actually here, then this would be the A, B, and C here for 4, then down for 1, back for 2, down for 3, A, B, C for A, B, and C here for wave 4, and then down for wave 5. So we need to be a little bit mindful of that. The NFP figures, non-farm payroll figures, were coming out in the US on Friday, and they're expected to be reasonably sound and strong. And the other point that should be made here is that, I don't use indicators, but any indicator would show this here as being oversold. So with figures that are coming out that are reasonable on Friday could cause a sharp snap back. So it's probably a good idea, to lock in extra profit on short positions, and if you're looking at trading long, will then find stocks that are trending up and buy new highs for this particular period here, because this move here as a B wave will be overlapping wave structures. The A wave be in 5 waves, then the B wave in 3, and then 5 up through here. So a little bit tricky to navigate, because the wave B here can come back 61.8% of the length of wave A here. So, but with that in mind, let's drill in here a little bit closer. Yesterday we were looking at this being the low in through here, but I said wasn't comfortable about that. So we've got this little 5 wave structure through down here, which can be the wave 5 here. So what we need to see now is an impulse wave to the upside, and it looks like we're getting it. So up for 1, back for 2, 3, 4, and 5. That would be up for the A wave. And then there would be the B wave and then the C wave. So just drilling into this a little bit further here. So as it stands at the moment from this low here, we do have 5 waves up through here. And if I just draw those out here for us, we've got the 1, A, B, C for 2 here, the 3 likely to be here, the 4, and the 5 either to here or to here. And then we'd be looking for well, that could be completed already there, but if we use this tool here to look at proportions and ratios, then we would be looking back at at this area through here as a reasonable support. So that comes in at, say, 1745 here. So if the market found 1745 as resistance, then you know that it's weak at that point. So you could look to short from 1745 retested resistance, glean a small position on each point through here and wait until 1740 becomes the resistance and then trade lower from there. But as it stands, it appears we've got an impulse wave up, so we just this can already be the corrective move here in ABC here, but a little bit small, so it'd be nice to see something a little bit larger. The other point too is the 1750 here, so allow a little bit of time here. It's the end of the session, and once the European session starts, you should be able to see some sort of lead coming from that zone, and look for 1750 here as support, then 1775 here or even 1753, support on 1753, which is 53 is a group 1, so you can go long from there, or you don't even have to trade this long, but even looking at it will let you know that stock is moving in that particular direction as well. Okay, so the other markets, the DJ's the same as well. Here, calling the low in here, this does appear to be corrective to me again as well. But let's just see how we go with this market here. Any positive move to the upside would definitely, any trade to the upside would need 15,500 as a retested support. Simple as that. So we're not there yet. That's it there. So you'd need to see, it's possible this is a 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 to push up, but you still need support on this level up here because it can certainly fail from that point there. The DAX as well, just in the bigger picture here, we've been looking at from minor wave 1 to 5 waves up here, minute degree for minor wave 3, looking for minor wave 4 back here, and looking for it in an ABC, an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave, back to the 4th wave of 1 lesser degree. So once again, picking the bottom here, will it come down to the 9,000 or won't it? A bit like the Australian market with the ASX 200 coming down to 5,000, it's quite close. Will they finish off is the question. And it's just a little bit hard to read in here in terms of this particular structure coming down through here. I can see that it's bouncing and slowing down, but there's still a lot of sellers there because the rises here are taking slower and creeping where the supply is coming in, quickly through here. So, the sellers are moving down through here. Any move up through here, perhaps the pivot within group 1, 100, 200, and 300. This here as support would be a step forward. If you're intraday trading, then the 30 here, 91.30 is tested support, adding on 91.50 and so forth. So, this also appears corrective here as well. I'm not sure if I've got it here as well. You can't short it while it's above the 9100 here, so you've got to go onto the long side for that and finding support on 91.35. So taking the highs out here when the session starts, a break above these highs here is the lead upwards, and looking to add on to these here. But all this is quite unreadable. It's just not smooth at the moment. So it could be the changeover occurring. It's the same with the FTSE as well. It's got the same DAX pattern here. Once again, we can have the low in through here, but any long trading would need the 6,500 as support. It's as simple as that, because there's going to be orders sitting there. That's where the supply is. The ASX 200, it's quite close to the ASX CFD, rather, ASX 200 CFD. It's quite close to the 5,000 here. If I just bring across the CFD based on the SPY, you can see that it's already at the 5,000 here. So this may cause the market to bounce. So we may not get this low coming into play over here. And this is a little bit like the London and the FTSE and the DAX kind of pattern here as well. And it's also also a little bit unreadable as well. The move off this particular low here, we've been looking for a low. This particular low here would be sort of in line with the other markets as such. So we need to focus on that somewhat here. So just this here is definitely a wave 4 if it's the triangle pattern, and I definitely think that's the case. So and that's a wave 4. So we are looking for a wave 5 low, and we can see that this is the third wave in here. This is just a little bit unclear here. So let's just work from what we've got here. So just drilling in on this current low through here, it does appear that we've got an impulse wave moving to the upside here, which is good. I'll just move into a 5-minute chart here. Once again, it appears that we've got wave 1, wave 2, and wave 3 and 4 and 5 here. So you can see that we got support on the 272 number here, the 572. So we should see a push up from here. Now this is all group 2 here, 65, 72 and the 80, group 2. So if the market found the lower level here, the 50, 65 as a resistance, it could certainly come back down to this point here, and it may even spike through, but as resistance, then you know that that's a sign of weakness, and then you need to be looking for short trade. So you would use the closest largest number, the 50, 60 here, as a retested resistance to start getting a small position here, and then under the 50 as well, but there'll be bounces off here. Otherwise, we're looking to go and retest up to the 5-1 here. And as I mentioned, those NFP figures, the ADP figures that came out last night, the private employment, the automatic data processing ADP figures were less than expected, not by much, but that can be a lead-in for further weakness for the NFP figures on Friday. So you can obviously watch the US dollar for expectations on that earlier in the day there. So stronger employment figures as such would push the dollar to the upside. So but look, anyway, this is corrective. We should make a new high above here and further upside. But look, I would trade from here up to here, get out, wait for support to come into play here, and expect an A and a B and a C across here, and then further upside if that's going to be the case. And like I said, the markets are oversold. They can snap back. So just, buy new highs, so to speak. All right. Cheers.